Hey guys, Chris, Midwest Bass Hunter, and today I want to show you a new lure for my tackle box, the Man Chatterbait Jackhammer. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to say about this bait is, holy smokes, $16.95 I paid for this bait. I hope my wife is not watching this video because she is gonna be upset. $17 for a chatterbait. 17 bucks. I don't know if this thing is gonna be worth it. That's just an unreal amount of money for a bladed jig. I've got musky baits that I didn't pay 17 bucks for, and they're huge. So let's check this thing out and see if it's really worth $17. Okay, a couple things about it. This is a 1/2 ounce bait, and it talks about Brett Height and Maurizio. I don't know who those people are. I know Brett Height is a pro bass fisherman. It says he's the bladed jig master. Anyways, it says, here's a couple things it says about it. It says it starts running quickly. So, you know, some chatterbaits, you throw them out there and it takes a little bit to get the blade kind of jump started. This says it starts running quickly. I've heard that from other people that is the big selling point for this jig. But $17? Okay, so it creates a natural hunting motion. Avoids snags and deflects cover like all chatterbaits and bladed jigs do. Blade striking the head produces sound, just like any other chatterbait. High hookup ratio, it says. I'm not sure why, but it says it's a high hookup ratio. It is kind of a wide gap hook. It's got a big hook on it. Holds soft plastic trailer securely, and it says easy to skip under docks. Now this is a color number 9, green pumpkin shad. It says it's made with Gamakatsu hooks. Gamakatsu makes great hooks. I use a lot of their hooks for like worm when I'm fishing with soft plastics. So let's open this thing up. All right, I'm scared if I drop this thing. All right, so it's got this little hook protector on it so you don't hurt yourself. You want to take that off or you won't catch fish. That was very tough to get off of there. All right, so let's check this thing out. Here's the blade. It says it's ultra thin. It's fairly thin. I mean, it looks just like the blade on a normal chatterbait. It's got some fancy writing on the back of it. Can't tell what it says. And it's painted. It's green and black, which I do like that. And it's got a, what did they call this thing? Decoy egg snap is what this is called. So it's a little different. It's hard for me to show you. It's different than the other snaps or the little wire, twisted up wire thing that you tie your line to on a normal chatterbait. So that's a little different. Not sure. It looks like it's really stout wire, so it's not gonna break. The jig head is different than a normal chatterbait, and it's really low. If you look where the hook comes out, most of the weight is below the hook. So I'm not sure exactly what that's going to cause it to do, but they sell that. They got that written on the package as a selling point. If you look at the hook, it is a nice wide hook, and it's Gamakatsu hook. It's really firm. But it's not too thick, so good penetration rate on that. And it has the 2 little wires to keep your soft plastic trailer on there. Obviously, it's got a really nice looking skirt, and this is a hand-tied skirt. So it's not like the Z-Man, normal Z-Man skirt that you can replace. It's hand tied on there, so if it does come off, I'm not sure exactly if you'd be able to replace it with just any old skirt or if you got a hand tie a new one on there. I don't know how to do that, but if you tear it up, it might be might have to put a new skirt on it. something I noticed right there. It says 1/2 ounce right on the bottom, or half right on the bottom of the jig head, so you know what the weight is. If you're going through your tackle box and you see what it is, but you're not sure the weight, it'll tell you. I don't know if they make these in different weights. This is the one I picked up. It's a 1/2 ounce. I like 1/2 ounce baits because I never have any issue throwing them in the wind, or no matter what the conditions, I can typically throw a 1/2 ounce bait pretty darn good. So, all right, we are going to tie this thing on and get a camera underwater and see what this thing looks like. I assume it's gonna look like most chatterbaits. Then we'll cast it around, see if it really does what it says it does, and kind of go from there. And we'll come back in a minute or two and tell you what we think of this thing. All right, guys, man, I just cannot get over the price of this thing. Obviously, it looks great in the water. It looks great, and it does start, the blade starts moving as soon as you touch that reel handle. I mean, as soon as you touch it, it's beating back and forth. So that is what it's sold on, you know. I just don't know if it's good enough to pay that kind of money for it. I suppose if you're a tournament angler and you might win some money, and your paycheck counts on this, I could see maybe where that is gonna sway you a little bit. For myself, you know, I'm not a tournament angler. I hope to fish some tournaments this year out of my kayak, but I'm not out there. I mean, this is not how I'm making a living, and I'm not really out there trying to be a pro fisherman or anything like that. But I suppose if you are, this might be something that you'd want. Just, I mean, you're gonna have a slight edge over a regular chatterbait, in my opinion. You could buy 3 chatterbaits for the price of this lure. So I just can't get over that. It's too expensive for me. It's just too expensive. Is it a great lure? Yes, it is. I think it works great. It looks great. It performs. It does what it's supposed to do. I can cast it a long ways. It's for a 1/2 ounce lure. It casts really nicely, and yeah, it's probably giving you a little bit of an edge, but just not enough of an edge for me to buy this thing twice, unless I get some financial windfall that permits me to spend $17 on bass lures. I'll probably never buy another one of these, but it is a good lure. So if you're into spending that type of money on bass lures, you go ahead and go do it. It's a good lure. I'm not gonna take that away from it, but it's just a little too expensive for me. Maybe if it was $8 or $9, even $10, I would get away from me. Even $10, I would consider it, but it's just too expensive. All right, guys, that's my review of the Chatterbait jackhammer. Cool bait, but too expensive for this guy. All right, so thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss anything. I like to do lots of these kind of gear reviews and just good fishing content. So thanks for hanging out today, and we'll see you next time.